Okay. Mike is always making every day look like Thursday. Today is Tuesday. We're so serious today. Please, focus. The punch.
You just want to...
The punch.
Risi Katu, I'm going to be calling you.
Like, I reject it. My Muslim name is Tawa Khaliti, not Risi Katu. 54.9 trillion naira budget. FG, World Bank at odds over funding strategy. Picture story here. Bayelsa set to immortalize clock amid tributes from Jonathan and Diri. Lagos APC aspirants protest today over local government primaries. Push to crush drug prices against fake approval. UK unveils plans to slash annual immigration by 10,000. Restructuring. Federal government deploys special teams to underperforming discos. Oil drilling to resume in North East NNPCL. And why Tinubu will defeat PDP again in 2027, says Wiki. Okay, which story are we starting with? Major headline.
I don't know if it concerns World Bank, but the World Bank lead economist for Nigeria, Mr. Alex Siniat. I don't say if it's my name, so you won't be able to pronounce it well. I apologize. So he said that even though we made good revenue gains in 2024, that this our new budget at 54.9 is a ambitious one. It's an ambitious one. He said it is a very ambitious budget, even with the very positive revenue sort of tailwinds that we have, even considering that it looks like it's going to be pretty hard to meet some of the ambitious revenue targets that are in there. According to him, such as our daily crude oil projection of 2.1 million barrels per day at a benchmark of $75 per barrel, it is unlikely to hold, noting that current production figures are closer to 1.6 million barrels per day. And our budget, which the president has brought and signed now, is 54.9 trillion. Initially was 49.7 trillion, but it was raised by the National Assembly to that amount. Fiscal plans make provisions for 13.64 trillion in recurrent expenditure, 23.96 trillion for capital projects, 14.32 trillion for debt servicing, and 3.6 trillion for statutory transfers, while projecting a deficit of 13.08 trillion to be financed through domestic and external borrowing. So the World Bank experts is saying they're looking at us relying more on CBN for ways and means to meet budget deficits eventually. But we're a government. We will run our government and plan it as we have our own experts.
Okay. Let me take the United Kingdom. For those of you quite interested in migrating to US, you got that story?
UK, no.
So the UK government has unveiled a sweeping set of immigration reforms aimed at reducing their migration by around 100,000 people per year. The new immigration white paper released on Monday outlined changes across work visas, international study, asylum policy, enforcement, and long-term settlement. One of the most significant changes is that the legislation will be sought in to make clear that government and parliament, not the courts, determine who should stay, tackling misuse of the Article 8 rights of family life to block deportations. In a move to limit work-related migration, skilled workers will now need university-level qualifications, and the salary threshold required for visas will increase. The immigration skills charge paid by sponsors will rise by 32%. It's currently quite high right now. For the first time since 2017, in line with inflation, it's added. So quite a lot is changing, and it's not going to be as cheap as it is now. Okay. Any other story?
So, Lagos State APC aspirants are set to protest today. They are setting a mega protest at the party secretariat on Acme Road and Shomolu. They said the appeal, the party's appeal committee had set today as the deadline for the aggrieved aspirants to tender their grievances. So apparently, because they held their primaries on Saturday, some people were not happy with it. The elections are coming up on the 12th of July.
Mayor has got her ticket. So we're happy.
Congratulations to our Mayor.
So some people are not happy, so they want to protest today.
Oh, they'll be fine. All right. I want to take the story on the discos because this affects everybody. So there's a particular new restructuring that the federal government wants to do, or the federal government wants to carry out this restructuring for underperforming discos. The Minister for Power, Mr. Bayo Adil, Honorable Bayo
Adelabu
said that they are forced to make this decision because there are some discos that are underperforming, and that they had a meeting with the Japanese International Corporation, and they presented this roadmap called revamping of the distribution sector in Nigeria. Somebody leaked the information that was not official, that they would be employing staff to manage those companies, to sort of like take over the operations, to see how they can revamp the operations, and that they are going to be involving the regulatory authorities to ensure that those that are not performing will be forced to comply with this new move. I think that we said the major issue we have is with transmission, sir. I feel that transmission is the one that we feel needs urgent support, because the grid is still shutting down. So
but these schools are still returning power. You know that they return.
Yes,
sometimes when they give them a particular
they're unable to distribute
vote or whatever they measure.
So there is issue with all segments.
So there is issue. But I know that nothing will happen. It's just in the papers.
Stop being so Nigerian.
They said it last year.
Stop being negative.
You see, because we're very cynical in this country.
They say it all the time.
We're very cynical. Let's be optimistic.
I said they talk more time.
Diesel every week, 500k, and then they still bring a bill of 2-point-something million.
They will never meter you, Auntie Yenny. The kind of money they make from you. To meter you.
Then they came to visit
revenue.
I said, that can I be paying more? I said, don't upset me.
What?
I said, there are some of us that were bubbling when the soldiers came to visit you. Some of us. Just... they upset me.
Let's move on to Vanguard, YK. Defections, PDP collapse imminent, says Ganduji and Wike. Conference hall, experts to brainstorm on government performance at midterm. Soldiers killed as Boko Haram attacks military base in Borno. FG opens 300 billion naira to cook. 7 as investors ask for more. High Court dismisses suit challenging Eye Woma as Ologboshere of Warri Kingdom. Delta, how monarchs vigilante members aid kidnapping. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So let me take the soldiers killed. Yesterday, the videos were trending, and I was surprised. According to an eyewitness story confirming this attack to the Vanguard, the Nigerian Army base in the Mate local government area of Borno State was attacked by suspected Boko Haram terrorists. An unspecified number of soldiers were killed, and many other soldiers were captured, according to the story. And they said it was trending that they were saying ISWAP has taken over Mate, and an unspecified number of soldiers who have been killed. Some captured, many have deserted. They ran towards Dikwa and are currently at 24 Task Force Brigade Dikwa. The videos coming from the soldiers on the field recently, including that of yesterday, has been that the soldiers are crying that they don't have enough weapons, but they have been deployed to the war front.
The gap that's former chief of army staff, Lagbaja left, is very huge. And something needs to be done to fix it, because when immediately he died, the drop and the sharp increase in insecurity and the way the soldiers' welfare changed made it look like yes, immediately after he died. So I really wish that we would have a major intervention, because we need them.
It is demoralizing for them to be on the war front without weapons, and they're able to do videos and document that. I think that the NSA somebody should be shaking his office. They should put question under his chair, shake it very well. Especially the other chief of army staff who is talking about
service and going to meet president at the airport. I know president at the airport. Go and do your work. There is Boko Haram. There is this.
Boko Haram is not financial crimes. He should sit up. These soldiers should not be dying on the field just like chickens. They should give them weapons, or you withdraw them. Their families are back home. If we're not going to do it, let's not do it at all.
Okay, we have to move quickly to Nigerian Tribune. I think there's a story. Unijust professor who will not succeed, Oshodeke as ASU president. UK ends overseas. I talked about that already. FG to overhaul underperforming discos. We talked about that. I think most of the stories in Tribune, we've taken it already.
Okay, so there's a plan to open a 300 billion naira Sukuk 7 fund, as investors are asking for more of this particular ethical instrument. And Nima was asking me to take the story because she wants to call for a review of all the other Sukuk funds we've gotten, because we see that it actually works. They are in response to the call for increase in the amount of offer. The DG explained that the DMO would only offer what could the projects that could match projects that are already approved by the government that are able to match the funds that will be available. So usually there are lots of testimonies. They said they record that the marina in Lagos is a testimony of how Sukuk has positively impacted on infrastructural landscape. And they also made a list of other infrastructure that was done. I remember always seeing Sukuk on the way to Ilorin, that the Ogbomoso-Ilorin road too, they put Sukuk there. So we can see that Sukuk works. But it's important that we should always do review to be sure. Are we seeing the finished product?
So the former minister for works, when he was raising financing, was had started Sukuk, and people were questioning whether, because at that time it was an Islamic financing option.
It's still an Islamic financing option.
It was, the way they like to raise the controversy about it, but it's worked. We can see it at the marina all the way to Ahmadu Bello way. Its money is across the country on the roads that Sukuk has been able to finance.
It is?
And yes.
Wow.
So plenty. So, and also have voted.
But can regular people also apply for the Sukuk?
Yes, regular people can, but it's ethical financing. So it's not for...
You can't use it for...
They're not going to use the money from YK's business for...
Oh, okay.
Dr. Christopher Piwana.
I can't use for celebration.
Not for celebration.
I can't.
You cannot collect Sukuk for
I beg.
No. Why do you say that?
Because celebration is...
We have a symposium, we have a schools debate.
No, I didn't talk about celebration. I said from your business. The money for Sukuk cannot be used for your business.
Where there will be alcohol.
There will be alcohol.
Full stop.
But it can be used for schools debates now.
Yes, of course.
For celebration.
Yes, it can.
Fashion
But it can be used
Yes.
for the concert part of the celebration.
Exactly.
So there's
So,
alcohol.
So,
there.
are you
ASU
advising...
voted. 219 members of ASU have elected Dr. Christopher Piwana from the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University as the new ASU president. So well done to Professor Oshodoke. He did an amazing job. He has stepped down.
Back to Sukuk, and here, as we were saying.
You see what
So you can't use it for your celebration.
I can. I can use it for the schools debates.
Yes. Just
For children.
It cannot be for
You
the
can't use it for your
party
business,
session.
But can it be used for the fashion show?
So Nima, I can apply for Sukuk if I need money.
What do you want it
It's
for?
you can put
I need it for something.
They'll be paying you.
I want to buy a
Please.
plane.
But it's not.
Don't
I want to start at the airline.
Airline.
Yeah.
You go and meet
Brown air. You fly now. Brown air.
What's wrong with
Doctor
my
has
hair?
grey hair.
I'm not trying to break
Brown
it.
air.
I've had grey hair since.
The brown air. You will not fly.
It
it.
makes sense.
It makes sense. And brown air.
Yeah.
Well, take back what me jare.
It makes sense. I
Flying
will
to
fly
Ethiopia.
brown
Air or
No,
air.
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 Brown air. Ethiopia air. Brown air. Or Murayo. Yeah, Murayo.
Kabiti.
Oh, Kabiti.
Kabiti. Akaha.
Let's go on a break with you. You fly it.
Oh, Kabiti.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.